Okay. Do you,
Right, this is the picture that you'll see in the CNJ, and it shows what a beautiful, commanding building this is. Lovely sort of period architecture. Unfortunately, the Steeles went through a bad patch a year or so ago when it got on the internet that you could get a line of Coke quicker than you could get a glass of Coke. And the police went to investigate, and they discovered the service at the bar was quite slow, and they got quite a lot of Class A in there, and they reviewed it with a rather draconian review that I actually batted against. Said, look, it's cleaned itself up. Do we need to be so sort of heavy-handed? But I think, in fairness, the direction of travel after a bit of a sort of downing has been difficult for the operators, and it does need an uplift. The function room is the perfect size for the area. It's totally unique. It's just right that if you have a small crowd in there, they don't feel isolated, but it can get in 60 to 80 people. I think 60, it used to be 80 people, for the comedy club. It is totally different, and this is an important point in your decision, for the other function rooms in other pubs locally. It is unique, and it would be a huge loss to the community if we had to do without it. It's a little tired at the moment, but it doesn't take a lot of imagination to turn a tired function room into something that is bohemian chic. This is the bar. It's a very nice period bar, and this is, oh, you can just about see it. This is a private function on Halloween. A dark room full of witches, so it's not sort of very clear. But it just proves the sort of, you know, examples of things that go on. I've been to a wake. I've been to a transition Belsize event. I've heard of actors' rehearsals there, and I've been to the Monkey Club several times. This is the Monkey Club stage in action. Why the actor is using PowerPoint is you've all had those emails that say, you know, chip into shipping in gold from overseas. And this guy said, well, what happens if you answer the email and say, yes, I'm interested in it, and lead this person along? It was a very, very funny evening, and would be a tragedy if we missed out on this. They say the alternative is in the bar. This is the area of the bar where there are different functions. It is very small. It's beautifully laid out. Look at that decor. Where else in London can you get a pub this period? And to think that we could be about to lose this. No, I'm sorry. For a comedy club, you need privacy. You need freedom of expression. You don't want to walk into a snug area like this and suddenly find the sort of freedom of expression you get into a comedy club. I say the events cannot be transferred downstairs. This is the beer garden, which is spectacular. The only other beer garden you'll get like this is up in the Freemasons' Arms in Hampstead, which is a long way away, and I suspect that with death by 1,000 cuts, they'll try and lose it. This is another picture facing the streets. But instead of asset stripping, this little area caught my eye, because it's somewhere that you could put in a microbrewery that would really be an asset to this pub. You know what the next picture is going to be, don't you? This is me. How unusual. Councillor Bucknell drinking a pint of beer. I tell you what's so special about that beer. It's Belsize bitter. The hops were grown by the transition movement, and it was brewed up in the Bull in Highgate. And that is the direction of travel this pub needs to go. I think it needs to have a microbrewery put in. It doesn't need to be asset stripped. And once I asked a pub surveyor, what was the secret of a special pub? And he said, a surveyor, not nuts and bolts, not ratios, magic dust. You need the right owner, the right manager, the right environment, and this pub could be a fantastic community asset, and it could be a hive of activity. I refer you to what they've said in the CNJ today. Cameron said, this is death by 1,000 cuts. This proposal will not be viable. They will come back to you in a year or so's time and say the pub's not viable. None of our plans work. We want to turn this into luxury flats. So I say to you, reject this now, unanimously. Maybe it'll change hands so we can put in a bit of magic dust to make it the best pub in the area. And when you do reject it, go in there and have a drink and look around at the decor. It's fabulous. It should be on the London tourist circuit, and you will be proud of your decision.